Uh, the uniqueness, probably. Like, I'm a kid who came from a small town in Farmington, New Mexico, right? Like when I was growing up, we didn't have a second high school in my town until I started eighth grade. And I got to, I mean, I got to the pinnacle of college baseball, right? I got to say no to a six-figure offer out of high school. Stupid, but I got to experience that, and I got to be part of a top 10 recruiting class in the country. I got to go to the College World Series, right? And then my start crashed, and I went from the top of the top to the bottom to the bottom, and was out of baseball within 3 years of being the Gatorade Player of the Year, right? So I think there's the uniqueness in coming from the small town, but I mean, that's a story that plays itself out across America for a lot of people. And just because you don't make it in baseball as a player doesn't mean you can't go on and be a coach, can't be a great trainer. Doesn't mean you can't impact baseball in another way. And I figured that out, right? And that's a very common theme I think against baseball is there's a lot of guys who their careers didn't go the way that they pictured it or on the path that they started. But if you have a passion for the game and you enjoy being around baseball, like what you learned in your time as a player can definitely provide you the opportunity to then stay in baseball and go impact it in a totally different way, right? And I'm sure there's a million kids out there who are like, that won't happen to me, but they'll see, like it does. And so it's a very relatable story in that sense, right? Like, hey man, I was a big time prospect. I was this, I was that, and then I was a nobody. And it was like, oh, what happened to him? It's like, yeah, you find your way, you make it, and that's a theme that I think any player can can recognize, right? They may not see it right away, right? They're 15, 16 years old, they're doing their thing. But as time goes on, you start to realize there's a lot of opportunity in the game for you to be impactful. And I hope that everybody who has a passion for it realizes that yeah, there's actually probably 90% of people who are part of baseball are not players, right? And so I think that makes it super relatable and just unique because I don't know, I'm a kid from a small town. Like you have a few more kids from New Mexico that have made it since, but yeah, man, from a little small town in Podunk, Farmington, New Mexico, like 25,000, maybe 30,000 people total, which I guess is not terribly small, but that's it, man. It's I like to think that it's much more relatable than it is unique, to be honest.